Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about a terminal tool. As a developer, I personally find it very useful and it's called Starship. But before we proceed, let me tell you about the Linux distribution which I am using right now. I'm currently using Debian Trixie. It's not released yet. I'm using pre-release testing version of it. But all the steps we are going to perform will work for most of the Linux distributions. The website for Starship is starship.rs. We take a look at the text. It says the minimal, blazing fast, and infinitely customizable prompt for any shell. We can even see how it looks and works in a preview shown here. And if we scroll down a little, we can see the prerequisite for Starship is a nerd font. Let's go to the nerd font website and navigate to the downloads page. The font I'm looking for is a JetBrains. Let's search for it. Click on the download button to download the font. Save. Let me go to the downloads folder and extract it. Copy all the fonts from extracted folder. Now before we proceed, we have to do one step. Go to the home folder. By default, all the files and folders starting with dot are hidden in Linux. View these hidden files and folders. You can either press Ctrl H or you can just click this arrow button, then click on show hidden files. Now navigate to the local folder, then share, and here you have to create one fonts folder. Make sure it says fonts, then inside that fonts folder, paste all the files we just copied. Now font files are in place. Let's install the Starship. For Linux, we have to execute this curl command to install it. Let's copy and paste it in our terminal. Hit enter. Type Y to install it. Enter your credentials. Once it's installed, we have to add one line in a file specific to our shell. Instructions are already printed in here, and same set of instructions can be found on Starship website as well. As you can see, it does have support for bash, zsh, fish, PowerShell, and even command prompt is there. I'm using bash, so let me go to the bash section and we just need to copy this command, then open terminal. I'm going to use nvim for editing bash rc file. Once it's open, go to the end of the file and paste the command we just copied and save the file. That's all we need to install the Starship. Now let me restart the terminal. As you can see, it's very minimal prompt. But if I navigate to any project directory like Rust project or Node.js project, then we will get more info there. I have one Rust project. Let me navigate to it. As soon as I navigate to my project directory, it's already giving a lot of helpful information. Here main is the branch name, 0.1.0 is the version of the project, 1.86 is the Rust version. Let's see what we get for the Node.js project. You're not able to see the Node.js version because it's not installed on my machine. But if it's installed, you will get the version as well. We installed the Starship and we saw how it looks like with the default configuration. Now let's check out the customization capability of the Starship. Click on this get started link. I'm going to skip the installation step and the next step is basically configuring Starship. Let's directly jump to the configuration page. And once we are on the configuration page, it says we have to create a new configuration file. Let's execute this command and create a configuration file. Okay, so our configuration file is there. Now I'm going to open this configuration file in an editor. Now let me open a configuration file. Now this is the empty configuration file. So let's add a couple of configurations in here. Now let's say I want to change this character. So inside that character section, I'm going to use the different symbol equal to, and I'm going to copy this symbol. Instead of the arrow which is shown here, I would like to see this arrow, but in bold green. Let's save the file. If I just hit enter, I can see the new symbol in here. Let's display the shell we are using right now. For that, I'm going to copy one configuration and I'm going to paste it in the file. Save the changes, and if I hit enter, I can see the shell which I'm currently using. Now let's say I want to display the battery details as well. And for that, I'm going to copy another configuration snippet, which is provided on the documentation page. And as I want to change the threshold to 70. By default, it is 10%. So if your battery level is at a 10%, then it will start showing the battery symbol. But I want to see the battery symbol as soon as it hits 70%. So my battery is less than 70%. So I should be able to see the battery symbol. If battery is full, let's say we want this symbol. In case of charging, we want this symbol. And in case of discharging, we want this curl symbol. Let's go back and let's see if you are able to see the battery changes. As we are not really charging and we are sitting at 17%, so that information is displayed in here. Now let's say I want to display the memory usage as well. For that, I'm going to copy another configuration snippet and paste it in here. So here I'm saying disabled is equal to false. That means I want to display the memory usage. So this is something which I copied from their documentation page, and you can see all that configuration in here. So if we look at the battery section, this is what I copied from there. Let's go back to our configuration, save the changes, and let's look at the shell prompt. If I hit enter, I can see the memory usage. So it is using 16 gig out of 31 gig and 0 out of 48 gig of swap space. Now let's say I want to change, or I want to show a icon for the Git branch. And for that, let's say I want this symbol, a tree symbol, whenever there is a Git branch. So if I hit enter, I can see the tree symbol in here. We can do a little bit more than just, changing the configuration for Git and memory. We can even, specify the language specific configuration. So let me add a configuration for the Rust programming language. So by default, let me go back to the Rust project, which we were earlier on. If I go to this project, I can see the Rust symbol in here and the version of the Rust. Now let's say I want to change that. I just want to use this symbol rather than the clap symbol and the version, and I want that version to be in the red bold. And along with that, I also want a Rust toolchain to be printed on the terminal. So let's save this change and let's hit enter. Perfect. I can see this new symbol, version, and the Rust toolchain as well. Let's say I'm using a sudo command. In that case, I want some sort of indication that I am using a sudo command. So for that, I'm going to add one snippet, which is specific to sudo. And I would like to see this icon. So let me execute a sudo command, sudo apt update. Once this command is finished, we should be able to see that icon. We executed the sudo command. We can see a change in the symbol in here. It would be great if we can see a host name and local IP. So for that, let me add a configuration for host name and local IP. Back to the configuration file. Add the configuration for local IP. So I'm saying not just for SSH all the time. I would like to see the IP address and host name as well. I would like to see it all the time. And this is the format. And disabled is equal to false for both of them. So we should be able to see IP as well as the host name. Enter. Perfect. So we are able to see host name as well as the local IP address. I also want to see a custom logo if I'm using a Linux machine. So let's go back to our configuration. And first we have to say OS disable is equal to false. And let's see what is the default icon looks like. Okay, so this is the default icon. I think I'm happy with it. If you are on the Debian, you will see this icon basically. So that's quick intro about a Starship. That's all for today. We'll cover more tools and softwares in upcoming videos. So stay tuned. If you find it useful, hit that like button and subscribe to see similar content. Have a good day. See you again.